first things first. I think it would be smart to at least start reading the directions, right? Oh boy, guys, look at this. What's going on, everybody? Here is my Aquascape ecosystem rec pond. I love this thing. It has been the centerpiece of the entire camp, if I may be so bold. We've got some more cichlids in it, which I'm really excited about. We got a few dropped off from my friend Michael O'Neill, who's an amazing photographer, and he travels all over the world. He's even been to Lake Malawi and filmed these guys in the natural habitat. But anyway, here's what we're doing today. It's been so insanely hot this summer that I actually went away to North Carolina a few weeks back last month. When I came home, pond was green, which has never happened. We had an algae bloom. And there were a few things I had to do to correct it. One was use a product from Aquascape called their Ion Gen ionizing system. It kills free-floating planktonic algae in the ponds. Today, we're going to be putting a new system onto the pond. It's an auto-dose system. My buddy Greg Whitstock said the reason it went green is because I probably didn't inoculate it enough with beneficial bacteria. So we did that, and within a couple days it cleared up, as you saw. But the good thing is that Greg and Ed sent me their smart dosing system here. So I figured, why not get this thing set up, and then we can kind of go check the pond out, check out the wetland. I'll show you what I go through just to make sure that this is perfect for the turtles and fish that are living in it. So first things first, we're just gonna pull this out. And basically what this is a larger dosing system for these massive ponds that we have here, okay? Now normally what would be done is, this would be kind of hidden or obscured. You can get one of Aquascape makes these faux logs that can go over this, or you could bury it up to here into the dirt, and then you can just access it by this right here, okay? What do we got? We got some things inside here. Very cool. We've got redfoot tortoises coming to say hello. Good stuff, man. But this is really neat because this is going to be a nice fix for the pond. And whenever I go away, I don't have to worry now about keeping up with the pond because it'll just take from these jugs. So, okay, first things first. I think it would be smart to at least start reading the directions. Right? Can you get that box back over here, dude? Let's get that box back over here. Thank you. Okay. Ah, yeah, that features. Oh, there's the directions. Oh boy. Give me 1 second. Very exciting video. This thing's gonna go viral. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
And switch to hyperlapse.
Time lapse. No, really. See you later. What's funny is, as we're doing this, we heard some growling, and if you look, our two friends have come over, Snaggletooth and Dale. They're interested in eating something, and there's a basilisk right by. They see that lizard? Oh man, that lizard just made it. But there's Snaggletooth. Everybody's hanging out at the moment. They're very curious about what I'm up to. How cool, huh?
I mean, when they growled, they growled.
Oh, they growled. They want their food.
We knew something was nearby, and I turned around and saw a dinosaur.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna have to get these guys some, maybe I'll feed them another hog. It's time for another hog, nice and hot, big meal. They can both tear it apart, so I gotta defrost a hog over the next couple of days. They're pretty active in this heat.
Cool.
They are cute. All right, guys, so we got everything set up. It was pretty painless, just set things up. And the cool thing is that it actually, you can download an app on iOS, and basically you can control everything with your app right here. It has both of my pumps, the settings they're on, you know, the devices. You can control everything from the app as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi. So if I'm away, I can make sure that the device is working. We have one of our faux stumps right here. Okay, and then you got the doser happening right there. So there's the dosing. It'll let me know when these 2 jars are empty. I can reorder right from the app, and I can keep my ponds looking fresh and clean. Let's head on over here and just double check everything. The redfoots are having a good day. This is awesome, man. So, oh boy, guys, look at this. Whoa. Here's why I'm here. Badiger must have taken a tumble down the waterfall. This is the first I've ever seen this happen. Hey, little guy. He just probably came on up here to eat some plants. I've been noticing he likes to come up here and eat. Come on over here, you little crazy guy.
He would never be able to get out from there without...
Well, no, he wouldn't have been able to climb back up, probably.
There he goes.
Nice. Oh, thank goodness. Holy smokes. This is why it's so good to get out and see your environments. Check on your animals. We've got, of course, all these beautiful plants growing nicely around here, which is fantastic. We've got our blackthroat monitors sunbathing right now. These guys are getting big.
Very big.
Yeah, they're doing great. But here's what I want to talk a little bit about. We've got the wetland filter. This really is the powerhouse. Now, if you've got everything set up properly, this is going to do the bulk of all the filtration of these large ponds. The wetlands are clearly, in my opinion, the way to go when you're doing a pond. So if you ever do decide to get yourself an ecosystem pond from Aquascape, try and plan it and design it with the CAC contractors to create a wetland filter. It's just the most efficient, natural way that you can filter it. Their biofalls basically mimic this in a much more condensed situation. But when you have a large volume of water, I have about 30,000 gallons here in this rec pond. This is what you want. You want something big. We've got banana plants shooting their roots down. We've got water lettuce that's starting to grow all over. We've got marginal plants. All these plants are throwing their roots deep into this 6-foot gravel bedding. And that gravel has actually created extra surface area. And that surface area is filled with microbes, small unicellular organisms, water bears, tardigrades, things like that. A microcosm, a little micro universe, if you will, of animals and organisms that are just really the powerhouse of the pond and pond filtration and just breaking down organic waste. So that's what's happening in here. And it's just beautiful, crystal clear water that's coming out. Now, in the main body of the pond, you'll notice since I put the fly rivers and the badiger in this pond, if you look back at older photos of my pond and videos, you will have remembered seeing beautiful tropical water lilies. We had so many water lilies, and that was actually shading this pond from the very hot Florida sun here in the summer. And since it was being shaded, the algae didn't bloom as much. Now, look in here, beautifully crystal clear, right? We've got African cichlids in here that are algae eaters. They're doing their job, but we also have, I noticed that on hot days, it got a little foggy. Here's our big badiger female. Look at her. Look at how beautiful she is. Now, whenever you have turtles in a pond, turtles give off a lot of waste, so you have to make sure that you have incredible filtration when you house a pond with a lot of turtles. It's important. That's why that wetland is so incredible. Also, the large volume of water we have. Something to be noted about a large volume of water in a pond like this, it's slow to get bad and it's slow to get fixed. That being said, when I was having this algae bloom, I noticed in the mornings crystal clear, right? And then in the evening or midday, boom, algae bloom. A lot of that algae would rise up because it's super active, because it's photosynthesizing, it's a plant, and it becomes more active, and it clouded the water up midday. Then once it cooled off again, the algae subsided and so forth. But now, since I started with my IonGen probes have been replaced, turned on. They utilize an ionization process with copper that actually kills the algae as it flows through it. It's pretty effective too. I did that and added some beneficial bacteria manually, and I also added the maintain and clear manually to this pond. And in 2 days, it was back to normal. The great thing about what we just did with the auto doser is now I don't have to worry about this for months. It's going to release a little bit of that stuff as needed on a time schedule, and I'll be able to see it right here on my smartphone. So it's pretty cool that we're taking, primitive means of filtration, and we've brought it into the 21st century with our friends at Aquascape, because it's really cool to have an app and be away from home like I was just a few weeks ago, and to be able to check and make sure everything's maintaining the way it should be. Now, what we're gonna do is some fun stuff. We're gonna get you some photos of some turtles right here. If you look on that side, Matt, you'll see there's a fly river turtle along with the male badager we just saved. That fly river is just relaxing. Why don't we go on over there and see if we can get some underwater shots of these guys. Of course, there's also the big badager here. She's hanging out. Maybe I'll throw some food out. I also have to turn on the pump, so let me do that also. Yeah. All right, so we're getting high tech here today. We're gonna throw some food in. Look at this
redneck high tech.
This is awesome. This is awesome. I'm not afraid. Let's get some fluker food in there and get some of these turtles excited about the food, man. I love the fact that we've got these large badager living in this pond. And remember, we just saved that male who was trapped on the other side of the waterfall. He must have just slid down looking for plants. I'll see them kind of climb up onto the waterfall, and they actually trim a lot of the plants that are growing along the side. So in one regard, these animals are fantastic for me because they actually do a lot of the weeding in the pond. On the flip side, it's a bummer because I used to have all those beautiful water lilies that were actually just like ornamentally beautiful and also helping the water quality. They were shading the water, but once I got the fly rivers and these badgers in here, that's it for anything green or colorful. Those dudes love to nibble at it. And you can kind of see the margins here of the pond. You can see how they're cleared away. You see that? We used to get a lot of plants growing down into the water, but these turtles are omnivores and they do like to eat vegetation. Now, this is, of course, the royal river terrapin from Southeast Asia. These guys are endangered in their native lands, and they are sought after for their food and their eggs. That is a large female you're looking at right now. We have gotten eggs from her in the past, but unfortunately, I lost the other male. The other male passed away. That male right there is the last male on the premises. Some people say you actually need 2 males in order for a successfully fertilized clutch of eggs to be laid because of the competition. Very important. Plus, it's just like people. If they don't like each other, they will not reproduce. So gotta make sure they like each other also. So I haven't had eggs this year, which is kind of a bummer from that male or from the female, but maybe it's because that male doesn't have enough competition or they just don't like each other. But you know what? I'm really excited that they actually are so healthy and happy and they're eating well. And man, I thought for sure we'd get some of these fly rivers up, but one of them I can see just on the other side, right over there. So let's have a walk. Let's see if we can get that fly river turtle to make some moves on the other side. There are 2 of them in the pond, and there's actually only 4 turtles. So it's pretty cool. There's 4 turtles here, and they're really happy, and I don't like to overload the system. We've got those cichlids in here as well. Now, Matt, if you just kind of dunk right over this stump of ferns, you're gonna be able to see the fly river. They're pretty quick too, so let's see. Matt's gonna go on. Oh no, did she already move? Yeah, she's already down the bottom there. She heard us coming. Isn't that incredible? They could feel our footsteps. She's actually at the bottom of the pond, so we're gonna go on the other side. She smelled the food. Yeah. So we walked all the way over here for no good reason. I apologize, friends, but you know what? It's always fun to walk through my little jungle garden, and I like bringing you guys along with me, so there you go. But we're gonna get you a nice shot of the fly river turtle underwater here today, and I think you guys will really appreciate how unique this turtle is. It's right down there at the bottom, Matt. You can kind of see it. There's some ripples from all these fish, but it's coming close to us now. This will be really cool. I think you guys will dig this. It's going to come up and get a bite. That's the smaller of the two, and there's actually a larger fly river turtle in this pond. These guys are from Papua New Guinea and Northern Australia, and they have also another unique feature. Aside from having those paddles, they have a pig-like nose, which gives them another name, the pig-nosed turtle. So that one's just hiding out. What I've noticed about these pig-nosed turtles here at the camp, these guys really enjoy moving around at night. They're much more nocturnal than they are diurnal. So these guys kind of hide out during the day, and then at night they're really, really active, and they're foraging for food. And they're omnivores. They'll eat pellets. They'll also eat bananas and other fruits that fall into the water. They're really, really unique. But again, look at how beautiful she is. I mean, she is gorgeous with that little tuft of, we call her Frida. Her name's Frida because she's got that algae like a unibrow, like Frida Kahlo used to have. You know what I'm talking about there? Don't cry for me. Wait, is that Frida? Don't cry for me. That's Eva Perón. That's someone else. But Frida was, I believe, a artiste. Anyway, there's some art in this beautiful pond. The living art that these Aquascape contractors are able to create, the biomimicry, but of course the best piece of work in this pond are the animals that inhabit it and bring it to life. I absolutely love this pond. I enjoy keeping it clean and happy and healthy, and I just want to shout out my friends Greg Whitstock and Ed Ballou from Aquascape. Go ahead and give those guys a follow on their channels here on YouTube, The Pond Professor and The Pond Guy, respectively. These guys have really been great friends to the camp, and they've built me an amazing wonderland, an aquatic wonderland right here. It's awesome. And you know what is even better? After a hot day of filming Kamp Kenan episodes, Matt and I jump on in the pond with a mask and snorkel, and we get to watch these animals firsthand underneath the water, doing their own thing. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this episode. I hope you learned something, and maybe I inspired you to get your own ecosystem pond and give your turtles the absolute best chance at survival in captivity. They're amazing animals, they're curious animals, and the ponds allow them to be everything nature intended. Thanks again, guys. Leave a comment below, and I'll talk to you again real soon on another Kamp Kenan episode. See you.